Hi. Thanks for that lovely introduction. Yeah, so let's see here. Let's get this clicker going. Ooh. Oh, yeah, it's very nice. All right. Okay, so here we go. To kick off this evening, I thought I'd tell a story about a real life experience that I had that made me question real life. I was behind this car on my way home after dropping my daughter off at school. And as one does when you're behind a car with a bunch of bumper stickers on it, you start trying to decipher the bumper stickers. And the first sticker I saw was this one. It said, "I heart VR." And immediately I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I've seen, people kind of say like, oh, I'm a gamer. I'm into video games, but I've never seen someone say like, I'm specifically into virtual reality, And so I'm already kind of trying to figure this person out. I'm already telling myself a story about who this person is in my head. They're really into virtual reality. Does that mean they don't like actual reality? And I'm asking those questions. And then I look at this next sticker. It says, "Go Vegas." And so now I'm going, okay, so they're into virtual reality, but they also, it doesn't say go to Vegas. It doesn't say, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's just go Vegas, rah, rah, rah. They're really fans of Las Vegas. Again, trying to figure out the story. So they're into virtual reality. Maybe they go to Las Vegas to go to gaming conventions. And then I see the next sticker. And now I'm going, okay, so pot enthusiast. Usually I see like a pot leaf or some kind of silly graphic of like Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes, like smoking a bong or something. But this is not just about this person's like personal interest in marijuana. It's more like they want everybody in the whole universe to be stoned. And so now I'm still trying to figure this person out, right? And what does it mean? How does this all add up? I feel like in other cards, I can kind of see like that person definitely votes for Trump, or that person is definitely into punk rock. This one I couldn't quite figure out. And then I get to a stoplight, and that allows me to get up a little closer to the back of this car. And that's when I realized that the first sticker didn't say "I heart VR." It said LOVE. Or heart VE. And okay, so already that makes a little more sense to me, like just a general statement. Love is a general statement, makes sense. And then it didn't say go Vegas, it said go vegan. So again, and it's all kind of making more sense now. And the last one said, "May all beings be stoked," which is kind of almost the same thing as all beings being stoned, but actually it's all really different. It's just a general, the point being that the story that I now had in my head about this person was actually pretty different from the first story that I told myself about the person in the car. And that made me realize that I was kind of like witnessing this like quantum moment where like a split in reality just happened. And in one reality, I was, behind a VR enthusiast, go Vegas person. And in the other reality, I was behind someone that just generally wanted everyone to be groovy. And then I was thinking like, okay, I was thinking, how often do I get these things wrong? I got that wrong, that the person that I thought it was is not the person I thought it was. And how often do I, get those messages that are coming at me wrong? And then also, how often do I express things and put across messages that other people are not interpreting the way that I would hope them to? How often are my messages getting misunderstood, And, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, God, this kind of misunderstanding probably happens all the time. Probably happens all the time, right? And, you know, how many of us are aware of this ongoing misunderstanding? You know, I bet the person driving that Subaru had no idea that there was a human being behind them that was actively misunderstanding them and sizing them up to be a virtual reality enthusiast. Right? I mean, what does it even mean to understand something anyway? You know, can I ever really understand anything as it actually is? Or is that understanding something that is ultimately happening inside my head? It's just a story that was told to me by my senses. And then I think, okay, yeah, that's it. With my senses, I perceived things and then integrated that information into the story already existing in my head. And what is that story in my head? It's a one-of-a-kind, one-time only thing. Because even though I might think that some information or circumstances are obviously presented in a certain way, that same information is most likely perceived and interpreted uniquely by each individual. So instead of there being a story, there are many stories. And my story is a story that you play a role in, and your story is a story that I play a role in. Different stories, both shaped by different tools of perception. How many stories are being perceived here right now? About 200? There's 200 stories happening right now in this room. Are any of our stories better than the others? Are any of them an accurate reflection of objective reality? Okay, so now I feel like I'm getting into existential crisis territory, so I'll wrap it up. I leave you with this. Knowing that we all carry our own stories, makes me feel like giving myself a little slack when I misunderstand someone, and giving other people slack when they misunderstand me. And considering the unlikelihood of perfect mutual synchronicity, I marvel at the magical moments that I do get to connect with people and feel understood. Moments like right now. I hope that the presentations this evening help you feel that magic as well as you leave and turn your powers of perception toward the rest of the world tonight. Thank you for turning your powers of perception my way just now. I hope they translated my introduction into the message I intended.